Hey there, how are you today? My name is Dana Demara, and you have landed on Astrocast. This is your weekly forecast for March 25th through the 31st. Now, having said that this is through the 31st, I want to include April 1st because Mercury goes into retrograde on April Fool's Day, and that's not an April Fool's. So we have all this beautiful energy this week, and it starts with the full moon lunar eclipse that happens actually on midnight, stroke of midnight on March 25th. And if you haven't listened to the full moon lunar eclipse in Libra report, I would say go back and listen to it because it really is the overarching energy for the entire week. However, we have a lot of other aspects happening this week that I think are worthy of an honorable mention. The theme that I called out last week was transformation, and I'm really having a hard time calling out the one word, encapsulating this one word for this week. It's absolutely encompassing major transformations because of the full moon lunar eclipse that's aligned with the South Node. And then, April 8th, we have this new moon solar eclipse that's aligned with the North Node. So we're sitting in this cauldron of change. And Mars just entered Pisces, which really lights our fire to, ask us, what is it that you want? What are you dreaming about? What is it? What do you really, really desire? And it gives you the gumption to kind of go after your intuitive desires as opposed to like writing a spreadsheet out, right? So this energy that we start off the week with is this like assertive, powerful, epic energy. And full moon lunar eclipse in Libra, this is all about letting go. And because it's aligned with the South Node, it really is about letting go of any kind of old relationships that don't serve you. Because if you don't let go of these old relationships that don't serve you, you won't be able to use this Mars and Pisces energy, if that makes sense. And when I say relationships, I said this in the Libra full moon report, and I think it's worthy of reiterating. When we talk about relationships in our life, we can totally look at the tangible relationships we have, right? The people in our life, the jobs, the place where we live, our relationship we have with anything that we consume. Okay. But at the base of all of that, those relationships are just a reflection of something that lives within you. So, really, using this full moon, and by the way, the moon trines Pluto during the full moon, and the sun will sextile Pluto. And so, Pluto wants you to go deep. So, go a little bit deeper and ask yourself, what are these relationships indicative of? What are they? What are they reflecting to me that is about me? That really is where the change needs to take place. So maybe the theme is like introspection or something. I don't know, because I still feel like Mars in Pisces is a powerful part of this whole process. I think a big ask is, asking yourself, what is it that I really want in this life? What do I really, really want? Like, what makes me feel like I'm aligned? What is it that I do or contribute that makes me feel like I'm in the flow with spirit, right? Um, it's not always a tangible thing. It's more like if we say to ourselves, well, I really want to own a home, for example. Well, what does that home really represent to you? Is it security? Is it grounding? Is it like go deeper into what it is that you really desire? And here's why, right? So Venus is really active with the full moon, but also this whole entire week. And Venus is the ruler of Libra. So Venus ruling Libra, Venus is conjuncting Saturn this week, which means that if you stick, this is one interpretation, if you stick to what you value and what you really desire, and you really set these goals, Saturn can make it real. Saturn can say, okay, well, here's the discipline that you need to actually, co-create with me. By the way, you better let go of whatever it is that's holding you back, like those little self-doubt, fear-based thoughts that you got going on, right? And then let's work together. And then Venus also sextiles Jupiter, which is one of the most amazing transits we can have. So when Venus sextiles Jupiter, it's this really amazing, beautiful, fortunate, lucky, optimistic outlook on life. So try to notice this week when you're not that, and ask yourself why, because the energy is actually asking you to put your focus on optimism, hopefulness, faithfulness, right? And then Venus also sextiles Uranus this week. And Uranus is about liberation. Uranus is about higher mind thinking. So this is awakening your creativity. This is asking you, what do you want to create in this life that is absolutely sustainable? And what the hell is holding you back? So you have to know what's holding you back, because otherwise you play the blame game. There's something outside of yourself. It's really not. It's some relationship you got going on here, right? And so understanding that whatever that is that's holding you back will support you through this. It's a turbulent but yet magical eclipse season. If you can kind of sit with what you value, like what's really important to you in the tangible things that you really desire, right? What is the meaning behind those things? And then what are those little stray thoughts that keep you from them? And here's a little hint. Normally what happens is they show up in your dreams. They show up when you first wake up in the morning. They show up when you least expect it. So I would just spend some time with this full moon, letting go, even if you have to write things out. What are you letting go of? What's holding you back? What relationships do you have that you've outgrown, right? And let go of that, and then just sit for a minute and give the energy of this full moon some space to eclipse, and then drop into the heart, into that empty space now that you've let go of things, right? And ask your heart space, what is it that I truly, truly, truly desire? And what is at the bottom of what I desire? What are those values, those virtues that I really want to see present in my life right now? So that's the energy of this week. I can't encapsulate it in a word. If you have a word, I am more than welcome for you to send it to me because I have been having a very challenging time coming up with a word. Feel free to reach out to me here on Instagram. You can DM me. You can also send me a note at dana@danademara.com. Happy to hear your input. Also, if you want your chart read, absolutely wonderful time to do it. Always a wonderful time, at least once a year. Just kind of gives you a outlook on what's happening for the year, right? So if that interests you, feel free to go to my website and you'll see all the information on how to schedule a reading. All right. I hope you have a beautiful day. And yeah, that's about it. Have a gorgeous day. Namaste.